Hello, today's video is to go over the book review revision assignment. To help you out how to figure out the better way to revise your essay, I have two things to go over. First is where we submit the revision and when it's due. And second is an example of the book review that I wrote for my in-class classes because they were having troubles with the book review as well. So to show you where that is, if you go to the assignments page and click on major writing assignments, you will see book review, and down here it should have, it's not in here yet, but it'll have an example of my book review. Maybe it's in here. Yep, right in here. So I'll move this out of there, and so it's on this page. I just put it in the wrong folder, but it'll be there, and you'll be able to click on that. And then the revision for your book review will be in week 10. It's the only thing I have, but it'll be due on Monday, March 28th. That should hopefully give you enough time to work on it. It should be a substantial revision, so don't just go in and change a few words. You need to make it substantial and include 250-word letter or a note explaining what your revisions were and how they improved your paper. So that's just to help me understand. The issues with the book review, of course, are that they're primarily summary. They are not reviewing the book. They're not saying whether it's good or whether somebody should read it. They're interpretive, meaning it might tell me what the book is about or what the author means, but it doesn't tell me if the book is good. So I wrote a book review in class, and this is not a perfect review, but it is doing what a rough draft should do. This is not in perfect MLA formatting. I did not double space it. If I wanted to double space it, it would look like that. Notice how the title is centered and not bold or underlined or anything like that, or different font, same font as everything else. I'm going to, just for space sake, make it back to single space, and it'll be good. So I start off by saying the other Wes Moore, One Name, Two Fates, so I get the full title, is built on the premise that the author, Wes Moore, will discover how a life went right after another person with the same name went wrong. Wes Moore, a Rhodes Scholar, compares his life to the other Wes Moore to reveal that both men are from the same city and grew up under similar circumstances. Yet, this other Wes Moore is in prison following a conviction for murder. Wes Moore combines thoughtful storytelling with a strong call to action. So here's where I began to focus on evaluation. I'm telling you what he's doing, and then I continue. While Moore claims that his story could have been mine and tragically my story could be his, it's not an exact quote. I didn't have my book with me when I was writing this, but we understand, so I'd correct that in the revision. Readers will be quick to realize that this is not the case. So I'm telling you what readers will get from this. By contrasting the two lives, Moore skillfully shows not only how a life can go wrong, but how little it takes to make a life turn out right. In doing so, Moore puts his readers on the spot to not only receive a story, but to do something about it. So here becomes the evaluation. The only really evaluative word I have is skillfully. He skillfully shows. So if I revise this, I would make it probably a little stronger. This book is a great book for those who need to receive a story, and great at encouraging those to do something about it. So, I need to have a little bit more wording that explains that, hey, I think this is a great book. You should read it. These people should read it. And here's what they'll get out of it. So that's the introduction. Continue on my first point. The other Wes Moore is divided into 3 sections. So rather than just summarizing, I am telling you how it works. It's divided into 3 sections. Each section begins with a conversation between the author and the other Wes Moore. The conversations center around the 3 important ideas: the absence of fathers, education, and societal expectations. These conversations are key to revealing that even though Moore's lives start out similar, they were never destined to have similar fates. So already I'm addressing Moore's claim and showing you that, it's not true. Despite Moore's claim at the beginning of the book, the other Wes Moore becomes the voice of reason by calling out their differences in their lives. By introducing each section with Wes's voice, Moore forces his readers to look for differences in their lives. They will easily see how Moore had many advantages that Wes never had. So I'm telling readers what they will get from it. I'm not necessarily weighing any judgment here saying that, Moore is a bad writer, because he says one thing and does another thing. I personally think that that's the point of the book. And I might want to include a phrase into that as well. Moore is able to lure his readers in with this promise, but show them something different and leave them pleased. So, the readers need to be the primary focus of what I'm saying here. What is the reaction going to be when they read this? It's not summary. I'm telling you how the book works in my second paragraph. Third paragraph. From the very beginning, Moore takes readers through his family's history to reveal that even though his father passed away, the memory of his father still influences. Later, readers will see that the other Westmore's father was never in his life enough to make any impression. This leaves Wes with only one other role model, Tony, contrasting the message of Moore's father with Tony's and the message readers will see both boys were already on different tracks. I would expand this in my next draft to show the overall effect that readers would get. Readers would see that Moore has many more advantages throughout these various incidences of their troubled youth. Readers will appreciate the honesty of both boys' lives and the discussions of race and drugs and economic inequalities and things like that. The idea of what am I going to put in there. Continue on. Furthermore, influences on Moore with his mother. Moore's mother was educated and finished, so I talk about the mother. Here readers will see the major difference. So I explain this. So I'm taking you through what readers will get from it. I need to have a little bit more support, in my opinion. I end with, by now, the major determining factors is what led to one's success and one's downfall were set. Moore wants readers to see family unity and role models are important in developing a strong character and instilling values. I could add on Moore does a great job of this by doing this, this, and this, and just provide some examples. I continue on. Another major theme readers will see develop is the idea that Moore's family never gave up on him. The sacrifices in the private school and military school by contrast, so that's a key word, by contrast, and I use the author's name. Moore shows several times how Wes was on his own. So I'm taking you through, telling you what the reader's doing, or the author's doing. Moore presents other contrasts. Then I get to the idea of this. Here readers see that Wes knows what sets the two men apart. Expectation. Wes sees that no one expected him to be anything else but a drug dealer was. He sees that Moore's life was always guided and shaped by those around him, his mother, his grandparents, his teachers. I could add the memory of his father. None of them would let him fail. And it's something that Moore never sees for himself. I could explain that a little bit more. Talk about the third section. It's not summary, though, that I'm giving you. I talk about the third section. All I needed was this. This Moore shows makes all the difference. I want to add some more. He does a great job about how he does this. These ideas are highlighted again in the format of the book. It has 200 pages of story, 100 pages of resources. Moore's calling on the readers to make good decisions. And then I end with my conclusion. Moore's story by itself is remarkable and worth telling. Moore shows how success doesn't come from individual effort, but from a team of supporting people that include family and mentors. By contrasting these stories, readers will appreciate what steps Moore has taken to become successful. They'll also see how little Wes needed to be able to avoid the life he made for himself. Moore mentions in his books that it is all about personal choices. In telling this story, the other Wes Moore reveals it's not that simple. Moore shows the complexities of living in an impoverished neighborhood with little influence and lack of decent role models. Combine this with low expectations and few opportunities, it becomes evident that this switch can never happen. Instead, Moore shows his readers that they are the missing piece that separates people from Wes-like success. And this is the real message that readers should take seriously. So, and then I would have a works cited at the end of that. Overall, what I need more in this draft is more support for what I think is good. Maybe a couple examples, a couple quotations, but like I said, I didn't have the book with me, so I didn't, really get a chance to really dig into it. I only did this in like a half hour, but this is just over 1,000 words, and this is kind of what I want you to do. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling through it so fast, but you can see words like more lists. I take you through the book. There's not much summary. I give you a synopsis at the beginning of what the main idea is about, a few details, but in doing this, I am doing the work and telling you, the reader, what to expect from this book. I am not just telling you everything that happens and making you form a conclusion. So my best advice I can give you is take your drafts, scroll to the end of your essay, copy your last paragraph, and then get a new document and paste it. Oh, wrong one. That didn't copy. Anyway, you paste it in there and you start writing again. Don't try to edit this as it is, because all you're going to do is work on the sentence level. You're not going to work with the main ideas, and it's the main ideas that need the work, not the sentences. So just start from scratch. I know it's a pain to hear that, but starting over is going to give you this blank slate and allow you to really engage with your ideas that you've already written. So I hope this helps, and if you do have questions, please let me know.